In this video, I'm going to show you how these two stores ended up making thousands of dollars in profit despite being around break even to unprofitable when they were actually running ads. If you guys have been in the dropshipping space, as you know, supplements have blown up the past year. But what a lot of people don't talk about is that these subscription-based stores can actually turn a profit even if they're unprofitable while the ads are being ran. Now I got two examples here. The first one, this is data from one of my brother's store that he ran. I believe he ran it for a month. Near the end, it went super unprofitable and he turned it off. However, till this day, he has made $62K in total revenue from subscriptions, which is a total of $43K US in profit at an estimated 70% profit margin, which is usually what the case is. That's obviously a bigger scale. This is a smaller scale. This was a store that I ran. My break even was like 1.35 and I actually averaged a 1.08, so I was very unprofitable. But at the end of it, I still ended up making $3,500 USD from the subscription revenue. And this is profit. Obviously, $3,500 isn't a lot, but you can use that money for testing products if you're limited on cash flow. Because I know a lot of you beginners don't really have that much money to test with. Hitting one of these losing stores, which is way easier to hit than an actual winning product, will actually allow you to get some cash flow so you could just almost infinitely test stores, or at least cut down on a lot of money that you are personally spending on stores. Me and my brother have a couple students doing tens of thousands of dollars in MRR. These guys, if their stores die, they're going to get all that revenue from the subscriptions throughout the next couple months, which is going to allow them to actually fund their dropshipping testing, or they could just literally go buy a car or something they really need. I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of what MRR is for a lot of you beginners that are watching the video. MRR stands for monthly recurring revenue. It's when you see stores like this, they'll have the regular bundles here, but they'll have that subscribe and save down here where you can actually get a 20% discount if you subscribe monthly. More often than not, these are auto-checked and a lot of people don't actually realize they are subscribed. From my experience, you will drop in conversion rate if you leave this auto-check. However, if you do leave it auto-check, you will have a higher subscription take rate. So let me give you a quick example of the basic power of MRR. So let's say you do 100K in 1 month at a 50% MRR take rate. So you made 100K revenue in month 1. So 50K is actually MRR, which is 50,000 in revenue without paying for ad spend. So obviously you paid for the ad spend to get that, but the 50K in revenue that you'll get next month after is completely without ad spend. So because of that, since your cost of goods margin is usually over 70%, that means out of this $50,000 in MRR revenue, next month, you will do $35,000 in pure profit. And this is without even running any ads. If you're still confused, you did 100K in the first month and 50% of the people took your subscription, meaning 50,000 out of that 100K is considered MRR. Okay, so that means next month, people are gonna subscribe and buy again, okay? It auto subscribes to them, which means that $50,000 in revenue next month is gonna happen without any ad spend. So you're only gonna be paying for your cost of goods, which is usually 70%. And that means you're gonna be left with around $35,000 in pure profit for that next month. You're literally getting free money because people have subscribed and you don't have to pay to acquire them with any ad spend at all. And in case you guys don't know, MRR products are like this, just like supplements, anything that you can reuse and retake, things that you're gonna run out of. So let's go over how you can actually make profit with a losing store using MRR. Let's say you're unprofitable for an entire month at $10,000 revenue at 1 ROAS. So in this month, you lost $2,300 on this test so far. However, if you have a 50% MRR take rate, so $5,000 give or take is MRR, you actually end up making $3,500 in profit in the next 30 days from those subscriptions. So canceling out your loss, that would mean you're left around $1,200 profit. I know it doesn't seem like much, but that isn't where it ends. What also then happens is that there is a second rebuild period where people actually don't unsubscribe, whether they forgot to unsubscribe or they actually keep using the product and want more of it. So it'll say typically the average drop off for the first month, it varies depending on the store, but based on what I see online, it's typically around like a 20 to 35% drop off. So I gave it a fairly conservative drop off of negative 30%. So 30% of people unsubscribe, meaning that you are left with $2,450 from the second rebuild. So $5,000, if you take 30% from that, that is $3,500. And then if you take 70% of that, which is your profit margins based on your cost of goods, you are left with $2,450 or a total profit of $3,650 throughout the entire rebuild period. And that is not including the third rebuild or the fourth rebuild. Obviously, it's going to drop down more, but it's still money coming in, even if it's not as much as before. And this literally just goes up as the scale goes up. So let's say you scaled your store 2 times while still being unprofitable. So as you can see here, break-even ROAS is still the same. Let's say you did $20,000 revenue for a month at an unprofitable 1 ROAS. You lose $4,600 on the test for that month, 50% MRR take rate. The profit from that MRR ends up actually being $7,000. So $10,000, 70%, $7,000 in profit. So your total test profit, if you actually put these together, is $2,400. However, after the second rebill, which is a 30% drop off, you actually end up getting about $5,000 in profit. So your total profit for the entire time ends up being $7,300. And once again, this is not including the third, fourth, or fifth rebill. I didn't put in those rebills because the drop-off range is completely different. It depends on the store. But I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up making $10,000 in profit from the store within like the next couple months. Obviously, like I said earlier, it's not that much money for the next couple months, but to have it just come in the back end from people buying from subscriptions, this is just way better than cutting a store without subscriptions and not making any money from it after. Obviously, not every single product test is going to end up like this, but there's going to be a couple where you can recoup some of your money, or if you're new, literally make money to fund your entire dropshipping test. Now we're going to take a look over at my brother's store. This situation doesn't happen as much, but it very much so can happen. It's at a larger scale, it's less common, and you honestly need some cash flow to do it. But if you're willing to hold off on your cash for a little bit, the returns on it in the next couple months will be well worth it. I just want to let you know, everything here is in US except for this right here. So he did 62K in total revenue from subscriptions for however long the store has been up. And you can see here from the last 90 days from today, he is still earning some money. Even though it's not that much, he's still making money. So in the last 90 days, he made $5,200 from subscriptions, which he earned a 70% profit on. Basically, the story of this store is that it did very well in the beginning. It ran for about a month. It scaled super quick, but it started dying at the end. It was just super unprofitable and couldn't come back. So as you can see, the ROAS is almost at a break-even point, assuming that his break-even ROAS is 1.45 and under. And I assume that because that's usually the rule me and my brother both follow by. So even though he made a lot of profit at the beginning, he actually lost a bunch because of the fact that his store was dying. He ended up turning off the ads. So according to the stats, he did $25,000 in MRR revenue during that period of running ads. So right here, you can see 25K on this graph. And then next month, it dropped 19%, so about $4,763, which left him just over 20K in MRR for the month after. In the example I gave earlier, I did a very conservative 30% drop-off rate, but what happened for my brother was actually just a 19% drop-off rate after the first month. So for the first 2 months, and keep in mind, he has 0 ads running, he ended up making 45K in revenue at a 70% margin, despite turning off the store because it wasn't doing well. And then you can see here on the 3rd month, there's a humongous drop-off rate of 62%, which I assume is because people are noticing now that, hey, I'm subscribed, I didn't mean to subscribe, so they're starting to unsubscribe. I would say this unsubscribe rate though is pretty high, but that's just usually what happens with dropshipping stores when they're doing supplements and MRR. And then you can see the next month, same thing, 67% drop-off rate. And this is why dropshipping is insane, guys. Even though his store was dying to the point where he had to turn off the ads, the MRR that was built up through running those ads actually allowed him to gain $55,000 in revenue within the next 4 months at a 70% profit margin. So according to the stats, as you can see here, 12 months, you can see that the churn rate was 93%. Only 7% of people are subscribed currently. I grabbed this data like literally yesterday. But before 313 people unsubscribed out of 331, Justin was able to generate $62,000 in revenue from the subscriptions. And at a 70% profit margin, that's $43,000 in profit so far from running this store, even though he only ran ads for 1 month. Now, I know at a 1.6 average ROAS, he was technically profitable throughout the entire time of running the store for the month, but it was just because he was super profitable at the beginning, but at the end, it just tanked. So the ROAS just dipped down and he just pulled out before it got to a point where he lost money overall on the test. Justin told me that if he was running the store now, he would just keep running it. Even if it's at a break-even ROAS, he would just keep running it and even scale because of the fact of MRR. Losing money at the beginning doesn't matter when you can actually end up making a ton of money from the subscriptions the multiple months after that. If I was running a subscription store and it was slowly dying, I would literally just do the calculations and see how long I can run at a break-even point or an unprofitable point and just collect MRR off that. Because at the end of the day, even though the ads are shit and not working, as long as they're getting some sales, you end up making a profit. Before going to the next example, I'm just going to show you quickly how to actually take into consideration the money made with MRR. So let's say you did $500 revenue and $500 on ad spend, making it 1 ROAS. Let's say in this situation, 50% of that revenue became MRR revenue. Now, if you take out the COGs of that MRR revenue, which leaves you with 175, if you add that on top of your total rev here, you're left with $675. So that is the true revenue of what you would earn after that $250 added on to that MRR revenue. Okay, the reason why we take 30% off COGs is because technically break-even ROAS, you're considering COGs off of each individual purchase, but since they're rebuilding and you still have to pay COGs, we're just going to take that out here. So your true ROAS with only one rebuild, keep in mind, so this is probably going to be even higher, is going to be 1.35, which is a significant jump from 1.0 ROAS. So this is how you can kind of calculate based on the scale you're at, when you can scale or what ROAS you can kind of hold while still being able to make money because of the rebuilds. Now, let's go into my personal example. This was a store that I ran. Once again, everything is in USD except for the ads manager. I believe I ran this store for about a month and a half. It's been about like 4 or 5 months since I ran this store, and I've done a total of $6,800 in revenue from just the subscriptions, which ended up being a profit total of $3,500. So let me give you a breakdown of what happened in the store. This is a situation that could happen for a lot of you guys, so I would pay attention here. So this is at a smaller scale, it's more common, and you can actually create cash flow for future tests using this. You can literally test products for free with the money you make from the MRR monthly. So you can see here, this store was unprofitable at a 1.08 ROAS. I believe my break even was 1.35, around there. I spent around $7,000 in Canadian to return $7,800 in Canadian. Basically what would happen is I tested a bunch of ads, they would do decent, and then they would just literally die. I literally tested ads for a month and a half straight. That's why I have so many ad sets for literally just this store test itself. And you can see here, I had a total of 41 subscriptions with a take rate of 31%. So since I was running the store for a month and a half, this is what the graph looks like. I actually realized I did the graph wrong, so I fixed it up. But you can see here, and after the first month, my MRR actually went up. It's because I ran this for a month and a half, so I was actually gaining MRR while getting the MRR from the month before. So as you can see here, I actually doubled my MRR amount. So I went from $1,000 in MRR to $2,200 in MRR. So I was losing money in between this point because I was running ads. But throughout the entire time, by the end of it, as you can see here, I lost around $1,250, but with the MRR, I ended up actually making $3,500 in profit. After I stopped running the ads, the drop-off rate was big at a 53%, and then the next month was even bigger at a 64%. If I would run this again, I would literally just continue running it and collect MRR, because you can see right here, despite spending ads, I'm still adding on to my MRR rate, and in this case, I actually added 2 times more. I could have just kept trying to make profitable ads and just stacking up on MRR. I would have just kept trying to make a profitable ad and not worry so much if something becomes unprofitable, because at the end of the day, the MRR is going to allow me to be profitable. And I genuinely believe if I did that, even though the store was dying and losing, I could have probably made at least $10,000 in profit. Same case with Justin. If Justin continued doing what he was doing, I could easily see him making $100K in profit just off of the MRR, even though he would have to lose some money upfront at the beginning. Once again, scenario 2 is the more common one. And yes, this might not be that much money, but for a lot of you new guys, this is going to be a good amount of money to actually help you test products and just do dropshipping at a consistent basis and not have to worry about your bank account draining. It's crazy how such simple math could have actually made us thousands of dollars, but we just weren't aware enough to actually realize we could do that. Guys, we've learned so much from just pumping out a bunch of dropshipping stores in the past year and a half together. We've been just constantly fixating on supplements. If you guys want to actually learn more about supplement dropshipping and how to scale with supplement dropshipping so you don't miss out on money like we did here, you can actually check out the WAP that me and my brother made. We got over like 10 hours of content that we're constantly adding still to this day. We got pretty much everything in here that you would need to know. We even go through the scaling strategy that you would actually do with the supplements so that you can make the most amount of money from situations like this. And we have a private Discord where we do a ton of group calls and just chat a bunch with the community. But if you want to check that, link is in my description. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. If you guys don't know anything about MRR, it's time to take a look at it. If you're in this situation, try to squeeze out as much money as possible from it, even if it means you're going to be losing a little bit of money up front. Thank you guys so much for the support recently. We recently hit 3K, which is super dope. I highly recommend you join the free Discord in my link below as well. And check out my socials if you want to keep up with me. I'm pretty active on there. For you guys that are actually doing sales, check out Commercive. Definitely the best US 3PL right now. It's what we use. I'd highly recommend checking them out just to even try to compete with your COGs. And their servicing is just way better since they're American. But yeah, link is in my description. And one more quick thing, if you guys need ecom tools, but you're not trying to pay 18 different subscriptions, check out Luxury Extras. It's basically a tool hub software that has all the ecom tools that you would need all in one spot. And it just costs $29 compared to probably just paying $29 for just one of these tools. Got things like PP Spy, Ad Spy, GetHookd, SimilarWeb, KaloData, which I know a lot of you guys like to use KaloData. And it's even got some chat bots as well. But yeah, if you guys are looking for something that's not sketchy and actually used by people in the space, check out Luxury Extras. Link is in my description.